Hello, my name's David, I'm 23 and I go to Emmaus Guildford. When I was about 14, I had my first supernatural experience. I had never really experienced anything of angels and demons or anything before. It kind of always been my parents' faith lived out, and I was kind of just never really that, interested in the Bible and reading it for myself and things like that. So one night I was up late. I had my phone and my earphones, and I was listening to a song by David Crowder called How He Loves Us. Honestly, one of my favourite songs. I just started getting quite emotional. I'd never really got that emotional in worship or anything, and it was completely dark in my room. I was on a bunk bed at the time, and I just decided to raise my hands in worship, which I'd never done. I thought, well, I can't even see myself doing this, let alone the other people in church. And I heard God say to me quite vividly, when I had my hands raised in worship, look over the side of your bed. And I was like, okay. And so I did. I looked towards my closet. It was a little box room I was in at the time. It was tiny. And I looked over the side of my bed towards my closet, and there in my room was 4 angels. And they just lit up the room. They were probably like 6 foot tall. They were just amazing. And they just, were just white as anything. And, I was asking God, what are these? What is this you're showing me? And he just quite simply said to me, these are my guardian angels, which I've put over you to guard and protect you and keep you in all of your ways. Stop messing around and start taking me seriously. And it was quite a gut wrench, gut punch moment for me. And I just quite simply said, I will. And, it's not like my life completely changed, from one way to another there and then. Obviously, it's a journey that we all go on, but, going on from there, that was the first time I kind of realised that God was real and that his, kingdom was real. A few years later, when I was 21, I was alone by myself in the house one night. I'd had a nap, and in that dream there was like a guy that was trying to get in the back door, but he couldn't, he was just not allowed to. There was something in the way. And I'd left the back door open, so it was just kind of strange, and I didn't really think much of it. And then later that night I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night about 3:30. And I just heard this rushing wind coming up the stairs that I was like, what is that noise? And I looked towards the stairs, and as I looked towards the stairs, my quilt lifted up and this rushing wind just came over the top of me. And it was just darkness, just pure darkness just coming over the top of me. And I was just pinned to my bed, and I was screaming, and I was trying to snap out of it, and there was nothing I could really do. At the same time, there was just a calming peace that was also there that I couldn't really express either. Anyway, it kind of stopped. My quilt came back onto me, and I was just stiff from head to toe. My whole body was stiff. I kind of caught my breath, and I thought, what on earth was that? And at the time I was kind of doubting my salvation a bit. I was in a bit of a hole. I was in a bit of a I'm not good enough for God kind of place. And I just felt God say to me, I wanted to show you that I'm still protecting you. And the reason that I couldn't move was because the 4 guardian angels that I'd experienced when I was 14, I had one on my left arm pinning me down, one on my right arm pinning me down, one on my right leg and one on my left leg. So the 4 of them were pinning me down, not letting the demons get to me. They were just passing over the top because they weren't allowed to get to me. Having had these supernatural experiences in the past, I'd say beforehand I was quite skeptical. I was quite doubtful of someone said that this happened or that happened. Is that even real? Is that even possible? But it's definitely made me more open having experienced it firsthand. There's a guy from church, Robbie Back, who actually said to me a few years ago, he was like, you need to be writing this stuff down in some kind of book or something. So this little red book, my sister went to Jordan a few years ago and she brought me back this little red book. So I just started writing down just little things in it that people may have said to me, or pictures I may have had, or even the things that I've said today. They all end up in this book here. This book inspires me, and every time I look at it, it just reminds me of his goodness and his faithfulness to me.